Well, your intrepid staff requested this. Actually, you know, I'm not kidding. It is tough to get guests in the morning. One of them being Tom Jones. You know, Tom Jones is going to bed as I'm going to work, so he's not going to come.
Some people can't stop eating, and other people can't stop drinking, and other people can't stop smoking. But me, I can't stop.
Get on down and party. High on a hill with a low. Let's go. How's somebody rock the house show? 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 How's some rock the house show? Rock the house show? How's somebody rock the house show? Rock the house show? How's rock the house show? Rock the house show? How's somebody rock the house show? Rock the house show? How's somebody
The following program, Chefs About Town, is made possible by funding provided in part by Domaine de Cheberton. Your winery in Langley, Fraser Valley awaits your visit to sample their quality wines. And sponsored by Cosmopolitan Importers, distributors of fine Pacific Northwest food products to the food service and retail trade. And Souk Harbor House, a restaurant inn by the sea on Vancouver Island. Purveyors of regional Canadian cuisine are proud to be sponsors of British Columbia's Food and Wine Arts program, Chefs About Town.
Which means world's fucking so fucked up.
I'm a little baby, let's jump the broomstick. 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 I'm a little baby, let's.
Yo, bitch, suck my dick. Yo, bitch, suck my dick.
I'm a little baby, let's jump the broomstick. 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 I'm a little baby, let's jump the broomstick.
Yo, bitch, suck my dick.
Let's jump the broomstick. I'm a little baby, 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 let's jump the broomstick.
Subway just punching the ham. There was like big bags of ham in the freezer, and you go in there and you punch it and it feels like a stomach. And I was like 17, I went in there and just beat the fuck out of the ham. So that's bad. He walked out with empty arms, machine gun in her hand. He could see it fast, no one understands. He walked in the town, never spoke a word. He's got a rich daddy, she's a daddy's girl. He loves Dixieland, he loves England. He has lost his soul, we are growing up. He will hide his silence, the whole day will come. He was the victim, he is on the run. He is on the run, he is on the run.
When the winds understand your voices of wonder, only the second of the herd, the burning flames have framed in the depths of yours. My
When time scrambles and it's gone away, can you stop to start again? No time. No one will laugh when it strikes this diabolic plan to break up all order. And who holds the key to stop
ぜ俺たちの出番だみんなの微笑み戻るならどんな辛さも超えるのさ地球を救え勇気と知恵で未来を救え大きな夢で Fire! Fly to yellow water いつだって呼んでくれ Please make Please make Mayday, Mayday Mayday, Mayday 三つの力を一つに合わせさあ燃えろ魂の兄弟戦いの痛み苦しみは俺たちだけが知ればいい地球を救え悪の手から未来を救え過ちから Fire! Fly to yellow water この命君のもの We
Shoot you all dead, but we don't have
make it a Zima.
Mit einem jungen Team, alle Anhänger des Free Jazz, kam Miles Davis nach Berlin. Mit dem imponierenden Schlagzeuger Tony Williams und mit Herbie Hancock, einem hervorragenden Pianisten und Komponisten der Musik zum Film Blow Up. Vom Programm und von der Abendansage schlicht als Jazz-Genie bezeichnet, spielte Miles Davis im vollen Bewusstsein seiner nun seit mehr als 10 Jahren anerkannten Größe.
We'll take that away. Here's Honko and Tough Man. You know, we got this big tag match coming up with me and Hong Kong and Honko, and so they're tough men, no doubt about it. Wait a minute, how's he gonna breathe if he keeps doing that? Hey, that's why it's dead. Really, because Schultz said that Hong Kong ran out of the stage time, but when that changes in there like that, Ed, you can beat the man, you can choke him, you can knock his teeth out, back in his eyes, whatever else. It doesn't matter. If you look at the head here, they've rammed each other into the cage. And they got the added thing is they got that chain in there. They're hitting each other with that chain, and it's perfectly legal. That's why they brought it in there. This is a grudge match. This is a grudge match. It hasn't been settled. Other things have happened. Jumping in from other wrestlers, you know, outside interference, whatever you want to call it. That's what this tag team is all about. Taco and Schultz say they got something to settle with me and Honky Tonk Man and our Memphis Mafia. Now here, oh look at that. What normal man could take that? But the Honky Tonk Man, he's unbelievable, this man.
You know, I have seen an awful lot of people who have vendettas against other people in the wrestling profession, but I have never in my life seen anyone have such a vendetta against a wrestler as this guy Schultz has got against the Honky Tonk Man.
Well, to put it bluntly, he hates him. He hates them. They hate each other.
That would be putting it kindly.
Well, this has traveled all over. They've went from Alabama to Tennessee, over to Calgary, and now over here to the Vancouver area. Hey, it's wild and woolly. Let's just put it that way.
It's hard to believe these guys were once tag team partners.
That's right, but whatever their personal feelings were for each other, they've got hatred in their souls for each other now, and it is all-out war.
Well, I get the opportunity to talk to you wrestlers quite often, and I have talked to both Honky Tonk Man and Dr. D, and you know, I can't get either one to really tell me why this war is raging.
Hey, it's years. It's been years as far as I know. It's been years. It's been, who knows the reasons? They've probably forgotten themselves by now. They've probably forgotten the reasons. But this has been going on for a long time. They settled it, and my personal feeling never settled it. But they're going to keep going in there against each other, and they're going to keep beating on each other. Same thing with me and Tomko. We got this tag match now. Sunday we got this tag match. Me and Honky Tonk against Schultz and Al Tomko. The Master Shot. You know, we were all once part of Tomko's army, but nothing more. He says he's formed the People's Army. Well, I can't for my life to myself. Because me and Honky Tonk are going to take these two guys apart. We got our own reasons. I got my reasons against Tomko. Honky Tonk Man got his reasons against Schultz. Schultz has got his reasons against...
Kennzeichen seiner Haltung, völlige Missachtung des Publikums, keine Minute zu lang auf der Bühne, kein Lächeln. Doch er garantiert für viel Geld, Miles Davis zu sein und so zu spielen.
Whether people call it cheating or not. The name of the game is to win. The people don't ask who came in second. They say who won. That means whose hands are raised in victory, and that's where we're going to stay.
Well, I have to admit it'd be pretty hard to argue that point with you, but I mean, you can take a look at what's going on here on the screen. You can see now Honky Tonk has got Dr. D near the rope. He's got that chain around his neck, and of course he didn't politely put it there. He rammed that chain.
He hit the referee. Evidently he's disqualified. He's disqualified Honky Tonk Man. He's still got the chain wrapped around him. Hit the referee again. Okay. Well, now see here. Now you see him hit that ring first. Schultz is trying to hit the ring first. The poor Hong Kong Man out for a massacre. A massacre. The same now time for a massacre. That's what it would have been. The Texas Chainsaw all not good. But look at all these guys. They got a whole honky-tonk man. They got to pull these men apart. This is hatred, man. This is hatred in the first degree. You're going to never see nothing like it again in the world of wrestling.
That was quite a match now. It looks like we've got everybody in the...
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
I make no guarantees on that. Let's not make any.
Let's sit and vibe.
Welcome back to Monday Night Fake Fights, where I, Garrick Taylor, she, they, am doing a rewatch of the Monday Night Wars and making it your problem. This week's esteemed victim is...
My name's Hamster, they, them.
Hamster.
Hamster.
Welcome, Hamster. How is Hamster?
Pretty solid, actually.
Pretty
Thanks
solid.
for asking, Garrick.
Happy to do so.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for doing it. When I was like, hey, who wants to talk about wrestling?
And I was just like, uh-oh.
Well, sure, why not, though?
Yeah, I guess. Oh.
Oh. Yeah, later to find out that we got that in common. Oh.
Yeah.
So how much history do you have with the sport of kings? Or are you just revisiting or just visiting for the first time? Or
Zero.
Zero?
Yeah.
So do you just have so many questions?
No. Okay, so I shouldn't say zero. I should say like a 0.5.
A 0.5?
Yeah, so there was the Sidewalk Slam and we podcast that my partner and I were into from Loading Ready Run, and then before we knew kind of the background, my partner and I watched Wrestling Isn't Real.
Oh yeah.
A number of times. So I have a contextual idea, and I am, I also grew up in the 90s where it just permeated the culture.
That's
so like I knew. Yeah, I knew about Triple X and Undertaker and like all of, because they
Triple H.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold. So no, that's great. What's fun about this is I came in around that time because like it was everywhere.
Just huge.
I didn't realize that was a thing that was still going on. I would get the tapes when I was super young, and I was like, oh, this awesome thing that happened one time. And then it's like dudes I knew are on the TV, and I was like, oh, shit. You're telling me we could go to this? And my dad's like, well, not us. Some people can. You can see them on the TV.
Oh, my gosh. Looking at these 90s faces.
Oh, yeah. Just the people watching.
So many mullets. So many glorious mullets.
Oh.
And I'm just like...
so many flavors. The flavors, yes, they're different flavors.
So many flavors. I love the kids. I love the kids getting super excited, and I love the women who are just like super flirting with the camera, and like it's just a lot of fun.
It all reeks of my being like 8, 9, 10 years old and going, that's it. They all look like my older brother. This is weird. Because like all white dudes in the 90s looked exactly the same.
Yeah, actually.
Kinda. The same mustache, very similar glasses. It's fucking weird.
There wasn't a lot of like style and
Well, we'll get right into it, I guess. Like, let's talk.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's talk about our homework. I gave you homework.
Yeah.
So, Nitro is where I was going to go first.
Okay, so So this is
the
WCW.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The new and upcoming live show, whereas Raw was still being recorded and not live. I don't know if that came up was apparent to you watching it.
Right.
I'm kind of curious because, like you said, you don't necessarily have a huge knowledge of it, but was like it apparent to you that it wasn't live on Raw?
Yes, because I make note of it in my homework, where it's like I really love the cut to commercial, when I forget what.
Well, Owen
what-
Owens right in the air.
Right,
Yeah.
when
Well,
he goes off the top rope and you don't, like before he lands the cut, I was like, oh, that's just great storytelling. Like,
yeah.
everybody goes nuts. You're just like, does he hit? And then he comes
what
back.
they had to work with, it was clear, you know.
Yeah.
So the big difference is Nitro is live in the Windy City. And that
in Rosemont, Illinois.
in Rosemont, and they're like Chicago, and then it's like Rosemont. I'm like, that's not necessarily Chicago there.
I was like, I think at some point they switched to Chicagoland area police because I think somebody was just like, yo, this is Rosemont.
Like, you gotta cut that out. We won't be saying Elmhurst is Chicago. You know, like, this is like, hey, you know, I know enough to know. Come on now.
I was like, well, you can reach it by the blue line, so like.
Then again, I'm from Wisconsin, so I always say that, like, I'm from a suburb of Chicago, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all counts. But yeah, so that was the thing. But at first, it starts though in media res of Hogan just like eating shit in like a
oh
montage.
my god, I didn't know I needed that in my life until I saw it, and I was like, whoa, is it gonna be an hour of watching this dude get his mustache shaved off? Because I'm into that.
Kinda like in an hour of an episode, there was like 5-6 minutes of him losing that stash.
Yeah, just constantly cutting to his face as he shaved it off.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the ambush by the little old lady. I love the character of it all.
The
like,
character of it all. So you would be a big Kevin Sullivan fan. That little old lady was Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan. He was actually the booker at the time. So he's the guy writing the shit.
Oh,
so
that's
the guy,
amazing.
Yeah. So he's the one who Hogan shows up and says, I'm great. I need a bunch of money and I need to be a champion. You need to make it sell. Because I'm going to sell, because I'm Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And then Sullivan's like, I got to make this work. And, you know, and he just tries. And he had a big thing. He came up real big in Florida doing a Satanist character. Like, and it was like edgy and like the Florida territories where he was freaking people out because he was like, no, I'm like leaned into the satanic panic. So like but by the time you get to 95, like to say a lot of folks in WCW was a legitimate gripe at the time was kind of washed up. You know, he gets Taskmaster and he's like it's still trying to kind of be kid orientated. And he's like got his Dungeon of Doom with Kamala and the Giant and all this.
Oh, right. So has he created the Giant?
That's all right. We'll kind of talk about because they talk about it in the things, but that's his stable. He's like he tried to make this stable of heels, the stable of bad guys, because Hulk always had to be the good guy, right?
Right. I know enough about like the culture to know that Hulk Hogan's and like personal and like that has always been kind of a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, no, there's another shout out to a different wrestling podcast. I love Public Enemy's podcast. They're PE3. Those guys are amazing. They always joke about how Randy Orton's a civil rights icon because of the gif of him RKOing Hogan onto the back of a car. And I'm just like, yeah, I get that racist old fuck. Just civil rights icon, Randy Orton. The Viper. Yeah, those guys are awesome. So no, this is awesome, Hamster. You've taken notes of lots of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of try to run us through this.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Number one wrestling program in America. I wrote down Google that. I don't know right now. This is early on. We'll see if they. I don't think they were possibly at that time. I don't think that happened until. Spoilers. Heenan in a question mark Bears jersey, though, was Bobby the Brain Heenan, the commentator, and the question mark Bears jersey was like everything for me. I don't know if you're familiar with Bobby Heenan, but this is a Bobby Heenan stand cast. So he did investigative journalism, found out that the big shit's going down bigger in Chicago Fire, and then here's Sting. Sting offers peace between Lex Luger and Macho Man.
Right.
So you're kind of getting Hamster's getting all of this upfront previous story. And my mind though is like I don't know, I'm imagining like nice punch and pie, maybe some spreadable cheeses in the ring. We'll sit down, and do a diplomacy. You know?
I was like, what does he have in store? How can he bridge the gap? And like, I think most of these, it's just like, have you thought about beating the shit out of each other?
Well, you know, they might get there, but like,
Oh, that's true. They have to, yeah.
They maybe they have thought about that, but the fact that Sting comes in, like, really wanting to lean into, like, we'll sit down, we'll get them pinkies out, we're gonna discuss our problem like dignified, civilized dudes. You know, but then hold on, John Tenta the Shark, boom. So like so then
I love the shark costume.
The shark costume. John Tenta Hamster was a proud athlete. A proud
I don't
man.
know.
And they made him the Shark. Hold on, billed as hailing from Tsunami. I don't know if you caught that. They just billed him as hailing from Tsunami, and I'm like, you mean to tell me he's just coming out of a wave? What do you mean a tsunami? Like,
That's not a location.
That's not a location, and that's not a shark. That is former sumo wrestler and football player John Tenta. Come on now.
Wow.
There's a dark side of the ring recently in this latest season that did a whole thing about him, and he had a hell of a life and a hell of a story, and he's a cool dude, but this is like the oh shit part of the story where they're like, all right, what do we do with this guy? I guess you're a shark now because Kevin Sullivan's trying to do this spooky Dungeon of Doom thing, you know, so we're gonna get this man shark.
The shark, yeah.
The shark from Tsunami. Poor John Tenta. With the fake knockoff Jaws music, which was also kind of fucking amazing.
Isn't this just Jaws theme in a lower key?
Yeah, slightly off, you know.
Oh, that's rough.
It's rough. Can't go up on the and, you know, it's like quite off in the counting, and it's like, all right, sure. But yeah, then at some point, Heenan mentions, you know, sitting down at a nice table to talk it out, and I feel vindicated. But in that moment, I realized that it's basically Sting is a surfer dude, right?
Yeah.
It's a surfer versus a shark hamster, and I want Kevin Sullivan to fucking explain himself. Like a minute into this match, I'm like, wait a minute, I see what's going on here. Are you fucking serious with me right now, Kevin Sullivan, Taskmaster?
This is just Jaws. It is Jaws reimagining. This is what would happen if they kept the beaches closed.
Which makes me think that it's like, all right, I have to write a show this week.
Yeah.
What's on TV? What's on TV? Jaws 2's on right now, guy.
Fucking A. Like, who do you think he would win in a fight? Like, he's got a surfboard, though, and he knows karate.
Yeah, right. Or John fucking Tenta. So, apparently, though, it's Stinger with a huge crossbody. Like, that he went more than halfway across the ring. I feel like with that top rope, like just went all the way and hit him for a 1, 2, 3, and I was just like, that's
that was fast. Yeah, he went down hard.
He went down hard, and like I love that we're still. I bring it up so many times, but like in '95 to win with a crossbody is like that. You don't do that nowadays. Now it's like you got to do a triple gainer first. And you got to do it 3 times, and they're going to kick out of it at least twice. And like, that's as close as I get to going. But it was just really cool to like see that. I was like, fuck yeah, there you go. That made me very happy, and I think safe to say that this match fucks is what my note said. So.
Final the judgment.
Final judgment. Does it fuck or not?
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay? Sting and the Shark. They're fucking. While McNugget tries to make small talk, Steve Mongo McNugget. That's a Heenanism I won't let go of because I fucking hate that guy. And then, him and Bischoff are going off about first cage match on live TV or live national television.
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm a hack, so I didn't actually look it up. I meant to, but I'm not even sure if it's the first one on Turner Broadcasting Station, because I'm pretty sure their very same organization had done one before, but who knows? I'm probably wrong. But it continues to file away, and I'm seeing enough of a pattern, Hamster, on episode 6 of things that Eric Bischoff just fucking says.
Not fact checked.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, and I mean, really, at that point, who could? Who's gonna take the time to be excuse me?
Fucking wrestling nerds, fucking smart marks who read the dirt sheets and are on the internet forums.
Yeah, I mean, there
but
were
that's
always
hyper-focused. That's 10 guys, that's and I'm just 8 going, is he really a shark? No, that's so that's not true. I didn't watch WCW at this point. I know John Tenta is Earthquake. Thank you very much. Yeah. One half of the Natural Disasters. God, put respect on that name. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know, I love that Kevin, because he could just say whatever. There's barely internet. WCW.com was a thing, barely. And there's a handful of people. So it's that thing earlier with the Google it. It's he could just say shit. Who's fucking paying attention?
Who's gonna be excuse me?
Which is great because now he's got a podcast. Let's say ask him about it. I don't fucking remember. I go, it was 20 years ago. What are you talking about? And they're sure. You mean you were just saying shit? Yeah, and then we get Kevin Sullivan dressed as the old lady again. And I think about the egg prime directive. And then the mustache, though, the shaving of the mustache. I think it's actually because he was filming Three Ninjas 3, High Noon at Mega Mountain. Are you familiar with the Three Ninjas franchise? Of films?
That would be a big negative.
Oh my goodness, Hamster, you're probably better off for it. But there were 3 brothers. They were ninjas. They're all very kind of whitish, but their grandpa was not. And he taught them the martial arts.
Right, yeah.
But by the time you get to Three Ninjas 3, it is straight to the videotape.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Starring Hulk Hogan and television's Jim Varney. In what way?
Say no more, fam.
Yeah, right. It's so bad good. It's. I want to.
Jim Varney.
I want to say it's camp just for. There's so many reasons, and I forget the lady's name. Who is the lady from WKPR Cincinnati? I don't know how old you are. I'm probably being so old right now. But yeah, so it's camp-ish. It's also just
bad.
It's bad. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think he had to get it shaved anyways, and Kevin Sullivan's like, "We'll make it a thing," So they hold him down.
Right.
He's sorry, we're taking everything from you. Yeah. So that movie, check it out. They talk about the sumo monster truck match coming up for our Patreon subscribers. I'm gonna force you all to watch that. And
so,
then, yeah, do you have a question? Please, every time, make me stop talking.
I need to know: do the monster trucks fight? Because
describe fight.
It's true. Good question. They don't have arms, but just do they smash into each other and try and crush each other, like a demolition derby type thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much I'm not sitting there going, how much do I want to give away for free? You can look this shit the fuck up. Anything that I've said, the Lapsed Fan podcast has probably already said. Shout out, Coach Ayers. Like I said, I'm a hack and a fraud. I'm just very gay, neurodivergent, and suck this shit up. But basically, they weld them together at the front, and it's like a tug of war kind of thing. Wow. So you're trying to push them. It's sumo rules. So you're trying to get them out of the circle. So but they have them on top of a fucking building, Hamster.
That's so cool. Wouldn't it be just a see, I would have watched that and hope one of them actually fell off the building, because that'd be
No spoilers. So, anyways.
What if some dude just fucking died? Okay, yeah. Please continue on live TV. Like, just...
Listeners, if you'd like to find out, you can...
subscribe to Patreon to find
subscribe
out.
to Patreon or look at the fuck up. It happened 25, 30 years ago.
Please, I'd like to call... Because, honestly, the Halloween Havoc promo... Everything that they're leading into with the Halloween Havoc, like, legitimately slaps. I'm just like, oh, man, I still have the login. I could just watch that, right? Like...
Oh, absolutely. Or, fucking A, we will... All right, so we will set that up.
I'll watch Halloween Havoc with
I'll
you.
let
I feel
you know.
like I need to complete this journey now to see what happens.
Because you got the build-up. I think this might be the go-home before the actual one. But the monster trucks, yes, they try to push it out and the falling off and ha ha ha. So, again, spoilers, hamster. Spoilers.
No, I'm not going to look. I want to just go in there fresh.
It's so fucked up. So that's a good segue.
No spoilers, 25-year episode of
It's so fucked up, hamster. Speaking of fucked up, Sabu!
Yo!
How do you feel about Sabu? Tell me.
So Sabu, I was like, oh, fuck, this is racially insensitive.
You have fucking no idea, but also kind of not.
Yeah, because I looked him up because, first of all, this is my shout out match. Like Sabu is a great wrestler, sells it super well. I think he does a lot of body storytelling, which but he was trained by the Sheik,
his uncle, the original Sheik, not the Iron one, and they actually do have like that ancestry to a certain extent, but they play the fuck out. They're from Detroit, but they play it up, Yeah. But the Sheik is legendary, and Sabu wanted to carry that, and Sabu was doing stuff you didn't see that shit on TV like that. And you could see it on TV if you lived in the tri-state area. You could pick up ECW. I don't know if you're familiar with ECW. At all. Oh my god, Hamster's face. I wish y'all could see Hamster's face. What's a
tiny little baby face? Don't understand.
What's an ECW? ECW was like all this stuff was going on. We're watching the Monday Night Wars, the two big dudes fighting each other. ECW was the scrappy punk rock kids in the Smoky Bingo halls, as they like to fucking try to put them down with, who were reinventing the fucking game and and eventually WWE comes in and basically just eats their lunch, copies their entire shit, and that's what becomes the Attitude Era. It gets watered down. So, but ECW was just, it was the authentic. Terry Funk came in there and said, we're going to do this shit. And Terry Funk, the GOAT, helped get this little scrappy people off, and they became a fucking family, and they cultivated the tribe of the Extreme, and they really, honest to God, changed shit. And it wasn't always good, and it wasn't always ethical. Love Paul Heyman, WWE Hall of Famer as of like a week ago. But that dates this podcast, but ECW is a big thing. And speaking of, it's kind of funny because you love this match. How'd you feel about his opponent, JL?
So,
Mr. JL?
Mr. JL, first of all, loved the mysterious like caped entity, but also I was just like, this is just Magneto.
Well, JL, I was like, Mr. JL, who's that guy? I feel like I know the guy. Look it up. Speaking of ECW, is his colleague Jerry fucking Lynn is another ECW guy.
The subtleness.
Mr. JL is Jerry Lynn. Yeah, yeah, right.
Wow.
So
no one will ever find me.
I am putting it off. Yes, quiet. So like Jerry Lynn just showed up. So basically, we're getting ECW on Nitro. Yeah. So what I love is that what does the crowd do here? Starts doing Hogan sucks chants. Yeah. He's not in the match. He's not on screen.
I was wondering what they were screaming. I was like, does it say Hogan? Are they saying Hogan sucks?
They are, because they're seeing the opposite of Hogan. They're seeing like this real shit. Like these guys look like they're trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Hogan's talking about vitamins and Dungeons of Doom, you know? So like,
yeah, no, this was a very visceral fight. I was just like, wow, it's like he's got scars on his body. I love one of the announcers yells out, "That man is banned in 17 countries."
I mean, I guess that's the thing, is I have to sit here and go, how much of that is a work in a shoot? Because like he's
banned in some. He might have been actually banned.
He might be banned in like 2. I don't know. Like, Sabu has done some crazy stuff. So I love that you love Sabu, Hamster.
Yeah, big fan.
That's awesome. He does his chair bit where he sets the chair up and launches himself into him. That was a big Sabu thing. You know, they still call that the Sabu spot. Like using the chair like that is the Sabu spot.
I love that he like takes him out of the ring and like also purposely sets himself. It's like the hardest hits, but it's also the hardest falls.
Yeah,
it's very like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's ECW. That's ECW. Yeah. They took those risks because they just wanted to give the show. They wanted you to be like, someone might die. You know, like straight up. That was the mentality. Someone might die, and like we're getting the watered down version in this. I mean, they put Jerry Lynn in a lucha mask. You know, like
God, yeah.
But it's in Sabu fashion. He keeps going after the match, but the end. Oh my God, the end of this though. The end sequence, the drop kick in the turnbuckle, and then he gets up. And he tries to go for the Super Hurricane Rana where he's sitting on the turnbuckle, right? And he's gonna pop up.
I saw. So
but he like fell. He didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
So
do you kind of?
Yeah. Do you know what he was going for? He was basically trying to throw him head over heels with his legs. Is what he was going to.
Yeah. Off the turnbuckle onto the
rat. And that's one of his finishers. It's a common finisher. It's a hell of a finisher. So like at the time, especially now, it's like a in between move. But what was awesome about this is fucking Jerry Lynn like catches him and he just drops him. And he like blocks it and just drops him. And I was like, that's amazing. And then he picks him up into a super sloppy power bomb, like. And he's just out. In Sabu fashion, though, like I said, he just keeps going for it. I feel like they pull away as he starts looking for a table because he used to just pull a table
he's
out.
Just constantly, there's no stopping him. I love it.
Yeah,
it's a great like. I'm big into TTRPGs, so like a great fighter or barbarian.
Oh yeah,
rage
Sabu is a barbarian, absolutely.
Just like take half damage.
Yeah, no, it helps.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's got bloody build. You know, the more tore up he is, the more harder he's gonna go.
Please, I need to keep this going.
Patreon. I feel like we're calling the Patreon so hard right now, kids, but. We have a watch along coming on. It might have happened already. I forget. It could be coming up. I could look at the spreadsheet, but I'm not going to. Where I'm introducing our friend Nova the Noob, who is also a noob, to 3 ECW matches to give them like an idea of ECW. We're doing those recordings tomorrow. So those are going to be fun watch-alongs that you can do as well on the Patreon. So we're talking all this stuff about ECW, so that's a tie-in. But yeah, we're going to watch the match where Sabu proves his bloodied barbarian build, because at one point, wrestling fans know where I'm going, but for y'all noobs, content warning, body horror.
Oh no!
The ECW does barbed wire matches.
Yeah, I was thinking about those.
Yeah, so at one point he's got a match with the GOAT, Terry Funk, rest in peace recently, and he gets caught and just tears his arm open. And he like calls dude over and is just like, I need tape. Give me tape. And the guy's like, what, just go get me some fucking tape. And you can watch him on the program tape his arm up and finish the match, Hamster, because it was the 90s and it was a different time and they were on a bunch of drugs.
I was like,
Oh my god.
That's the rage.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Next. Oh my gosh, I know what my next character build is gonna be.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabu. Sabu's still bringing joys
Just
to
like
people's lives.
ripping lines and
ripping lines and fucking with barbed wire. And if a table isn't broken
match.
by the end of the encounter, I've fucked up.
carry around a chair just to break it
set
over
up,
someone's head. Yeah. Where did those steel steps come from?
Bonk. There you go. Awesome. So yeah, I'm so happy you dug Sabu. And then we get the brief interlude of McNugget and his tinted aviators. I'm a Fallout nerd, and he's got the 76 Bears jersey, which I'm pretty sure was his jersey because he's a former Bear. And I was like, I want that in Vault-Tec colors so bad, though.
Do they like vaguely compare Sting to Henry Kissinger? Like,
oh my god, wait,
what?
Like,
one of the great compromisers, or like,
oh my god, I didn't.
And they literally name drop Henry Kissinger. I was just like, seriously.
I didn't catch that, but that totally sounds like something Bobby the Brain Heenan would say, which is why I love him.
I'm just kind of, I got a Google alerts in my brain for when that name's dropped.
Amazing. So yeah, Lex Luger continues his journey of not knowing. He doesn't know what to do with clothes. And like, honestly, I feel for him, and we are entering into that area where I was like, this is kind of trans and gay. So I was like, it can be really hard when you don't know how to dress for your gender you're performing, but that jacket is not working, Lexi.
No.
Like, in all seriousness, what the fuck?
Yeah, he needs bangs or something. Like, that was just a lot.
The whole thing was a lot. And I think what it comes down to, in all seriousness, though, is that Lex Luger in clothing just always looks uncomfortable because he isn't naked. And it's like he does not know what to do.
Some people just can't.
I'm a bodybuilder. Like, I don't understand. Here, check out this jacket, but then how can you see my pecs?
Yeah.
Wearing a jacket. I don't get it.
It reminds me of like the toddler who always just needs to be naked or just doesn't wear clothes.
It's just, he looks weird in clothes. Yeah, it's just weird. He just looks uncomfortable, like he doesn't know what to do with his hands, and like, all right. Yeah. Meanwhile, Macho Man clearly has several gay friends and a fucking plan. Oh yeah.
This is where he comes out in black, doesn't he?
No, Macho Man comes out in the like.
Oh no! I'm sorry, that's Macho, not Hulk. Yeah,
no,
sorry. I love seeing Macho Man in like '95.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah.
Brother.
Bitch. Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? That's totally different guy. Yeah, it was bigger than him.
It's super. So the problem is Hogan.
Yeah.
It's the way that the words are laid out. Anyways,
it's fine, Terry. Calm down, Terry. So yeah, Terry Palea. So yeah, like. He comes out and I giggled. I had just on my notes, I'm giggling because Sting sounds like a concerned 70s sitcom dad.
Yeah, he really does.
And it's like you got the giant and he's just going around here choke slamming all over the place.
Yeah, I think what he's really trying to do is like bringing it like. This is how we all relate to one another.
Yeah.
Because we can be choke slammed by the giant at any point.
At any time.
It would have been hilarious if the giant just like ran through and choke slammed somebody, then ran off.
I mean, I know it could have happened. This is the 90s.
I know.
But I also wrote down about everyone that's ever put on a pair of tights and wanted to be a champion. We've all been there. And again, I had that moment of like, I feel like I'm looking at three large eggs in a ring being interviewed by Mean Gene, all paranoid that everyone's going to figure it out, and I'm dying. It's like the Tobias Funke in Arrested Development. Like, do you listen to yourself sometimes when you talk? Do you guys hear what you're saying? Because, like, girl, we can talk about it. I'll take you shopping. It's okay. Torrid.
We'll figure it out together.
Torrid is super good for us bigger ladies. Let's go. I believe in you, Lex. We will make you look comfortable in clothing. But yeah, Sting, he doesn't look like the total package. He looks like David Byrne in Stop Making Sense.
Same as ever was.
Same as ever was. The total package.
You're not the total package.
You're David Byrne in Stop Making Sense. Again, while you just choke slamming all over. Oh, God, Sting. All right. So they start to build up someone arriving in the limo. We're coming to the end here.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar you are. I don't know if I can't remember if we talked about this with Chris Benoit. But yeah, so they start to build up the arriving in the limo, someone that's been all over the world showing up from Japan. And I started, I was unfamiliar with this because I had never seen Nitro. That's why I'm doing the rewatch. And I didn't start watching Raw until 97. So I'm like, oh shit, who's this? It's going to be a debut of somebody. And sure enough, it's the debut on screen of the second biggest monster in the history of wrestling, Chris Benoit's hairdresser. And the third biggest monster in wrestling, Chris Benoit.
His hairdresser and him.
Oh my God. The first, of course, being Vince McMahon always and forever. But the second being those two tied. Because oh God, where the big boys play. So yeah, Chris Benoit showed up. Are you familiar with all of what went down with that?
Didn't he
kill
himself and his wife?
The family, a little bit. So okay,
yeah, because he had there was really bad traumatic brain injury, right?
Yeah, they found out after the fact that he had the brain of a 80-year-old dementia patient.
Yeah, and he just I remember. Yeah, because that's when I think around when that happened was when I was listening to Sidewalk Slam. So
that makes sense. Yeah, and that was a big thing that went down. I remember just seeing it happen. I think it was at a Burger King
afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just
because that was in 2007.
Yeah, and it popped up on the news, and I was like, oh shit! And then the next day it was like, oh shit. So it's wild that I'm walking into this hanging out with everyone and watching all those old shows because Chris Benoit is going to happen. And he's there, and this is we're coming up on how he meets his wife. She's here. She is currently married to the Booker Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, okay.
Nancy Sullivan, Kevin Sullivan's wife, will then become Nancy Benoit. And yeah, so we're entering into a very dark little thing, and it's all right, got it. That's the every episode we have to acknowledge he's a monster, and God, the hair really, it tried to warn us. The mullet just kind of floofing out in the back. I'm like, oh my God. But
it was so obvious,
real bad. And then the second week in a row of having to see Disco Fever without my consent.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? It's great because everybody loves watching him get his ass beat.
And thus he is serving his purpose as a jobber. Yeah. And I love that AEW is starting to bring back the jobber, and I'm very, very happy with that. I gotta say that ACAB does include Big Bubba Man because he's the big boss man in WWE. But I would be okay if he goes carceral on Inferno. Then we get Road Warrior Hawk and just Road Warrior Hawk.
It was over super quick, right?
Kinda, and
I felt like it was
kind of and Disco showed up in the middle and got Hawk discounted or disqualified because he was fucking with them. Remember, he got counted out.
I didn't see the DQ. Oh my God!
No, that's how it ended, and it was just really quick because he just showed up and started dancing.
Oh, okay, so that's why. Because I was just at first it was it was the match, and then it was done, and I was like, oh crap. So
yeah, but I think
they should have both gone after his ass.
Right. I think that they probably kind of were trying to figure out what to do with him though, because I don't know if you're familiar with the Legion of Doom tag team. But they were kind of bigger back earlier in this time, Hawk and Animal. So he was part of a tag team that was the tag team. You know, when the crowd goes really over the top hard, when they pop super hard to something, people in the business still refer to that as a road warrior pop. That's how popular they were, because like they set that bar in like the 70s, 80s. Like that's how big they got. So this is during, but no Animal, right? This is during a period where they were broken up.
I was like, what?
They broke up, but not in kayfabe, in real life. They like as friends broke up because Hawk had hella drinking drug issues. I mean, a lot of them did, but Hawk was like bad off. So I was like, oh, where is he? I realized, this is when they were broken up. Oh, they get back together.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. So that's good. I did kind of love the hat on his shoulder spike. Hawk gives us a really awesome power slam, a Hawk's power slam, but then Disco shows up and then it goes to shit. And that made me just sad because I was like, I could watch Hawk beat the shit out of Disco Inferno all night. But then you get the right. The real reason for Butts and Seats, Hulk Hogan, place erupts in booze.
Yeah.
How about that though? Because like he's supposed to be the good guy. He like that's the whole thing is the Shark and all them are supposed to be the obvious dastardly bad guys, and he's supposed to be the heroic good guy, and the whole crowd's just like, we fucking hate you.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that weird juxtaposition?
I don't. It feels very like Elon Muskish.
Oh my god!
Where it's like
hamster, that's amazing. Well said. Holy shit.
Yeah, where it's like I'm the good guy. Everybody loves me. You need to make right it so like I'm the good guy, and everybody around you is like, no, you like we can see like the emperor has no clothes. You're a piece of shit. And
okay.
Like, yeah.
And that's awesome because like you said in the for posterity people, they said at the beginning of this show they had very little understanding of how this all works, and yet you have hit the nail on the fucking head of exactly what was going on at this period with Hulk Hogan.
It's good storytelling, that's why, I think people get intimidated by wrestling, but when you sit down and you watch it, and you're just like, oh.
No, here's the thing, though. That wasn't storytelling. That's the fun part. That's real.
That's just I wasn't know. Okay.
No, Hamster, that's why I'm saying you hit the nail on the head of what was actually going down. The storytelling was they were desperately trying to make him the good guy. Mm-hmm. He came out in black because he was in mourning. And he was going to make a big comeback. He was trying to rally these people who were booing him. They literally thought that that's how it was going to work. And they were like, what the fuck do we do? And we're going to, like, dear listeners, dear sickos, we're going to find out together. That's a lot of what Monday Night Wars ended up being, because they came up with an idea.
Trying to figure out how to make Hulk Hogan like
fucking matter in any way, like to make him like be relevant in any way. And so like Hogan wearing all black, they looks like a jackass. I can't figure out if Jimmy Hart is Hogan's imaginary friend or if Hogan is Jimmy Hart's imaginary friend.
Maybe it's a symbiotic psychosis.
I already decided it's some sort of weird Calvin and Hobbes thing, but I don't know which.
That's the fun,
right? So speaking, I got this in my notes too, and we're already kind of talking about, hey, I'm getting better at this podcasting thing. They start talking shit on Vince about like they talked about up in New York choking on his own ego. They're talking about Vince McMahon.
Okay.
So I like put this together watching this, Hamster, is that this whole Monday Night War is just about jilted ex-lovers fighting with each other through mounting ever-escalating plays about how they don't miss each other at all, and don't put in the paper that I miss New York and Vince's sweet but firm hand. Please don't put it in the dirt sheets. Meltzer, don't write that I miss Vince's sweet but firm hand. And then, but firm. So, brother. And this is what it comes down to, is they're like, because they're trying to like, because as we'll see in Raw, he's over there shitting on Hogan and he's over there shitting on Vince. And the whole time they just want to be making money together and sticking steroids in each other's butts. And they just want it. That's all they want to do. They're best friends and harassing women. And, you know, all the things that they love to do together, like Predators. You know?
Honestly, they complement each other super well.
They really always have. So it's an interesting time in wrestling. Like, just please don't put in the paper that I miss him. And then there's they make reference to the fact, I don't know if you called it, the Giant, if you caught it. Did you catch the part about how they're trying to say he's Andre's kid? They're trying to say he's Andre the Giant's kid at this point.
Shut up. No. I missed that. Damn it.
Because Hulk Hogan made a lot of money slamming that big Andre the Giant guy one time. So all it becomes about is how he's like, I need a big guy to slam, right?
Yeah.
So
I got.
That's his whole, all he knows how to do is me and Vince made money. That one time there was a rock and roll person there, Cyndi Lauper, and she was there, so the rock and roll people were there, dude. And then I slammed the big guy, brother, and then we made money and harassed women, and it was great. And we made a bunch of money, did drugs in the 80s, and he's just there. He just wants that back. So he literally brings in this guy who has the same disease as Andre.
Run it back.
Yeah, no, Paul. Yeah, exactly. Paul White has the same disease. He ended up getting the surgery that Andre didn't because Vince wanted him to keep growing.
Wow.
Well, we can infer that. Again, see those dirty co-chairs at the Laps Fan podcast. They called that shit. They're like, no, I bet you just let him go. And that makes sense. I would not be fucking surprised. It's the number one monster of all time. But so that's what they're trying to do. And then there's the monster truck, Taskmaster, the Giant, Brutus, Ted Cruz Beefcake, and just thank fuck that the Hogan segment is over. And the man who but then they call him the man who had his mustache shaved off. And I'm just like, that feels like something a turf would say for a translator.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's very gender critical bullshit.
Yeah, it's like the man who had his mustache shaved up. And then we get Pepe ready for the football, but he's wearing Dirty Bears colors. Someone get that raccoon.
Yeah, so cute.
Oh, I love him. I gotta say, like,
dog?
Right? I love him though. He's so cute.
Yeah.
But I love that they stick to the football because it's like, yeah, we're like real sports. Like, no, you're not. No.
Well, also it was like the 10-year anniversary of the 85. Oh yeah, the 85 Bears Super Bowl win. So they were hyping that real hard.
Leading into it. And Mongo was a Bear, so like they're real, and they're in Chicago, so they're going even harder. I don't know. I just like it. It reminded me in the moment of someone was talking about how they need to fix officiating in the NFL. And my immediate thought was, this is why I watch professional wrestling, because I always know the officiating is fixed.
Yeah.
Because it's a fake sport. It's all fucking fixed. Ain't none of it real. So you can guarantee it. But with 10 minutes left in the broadcast, we get Ric Flair coming to a cage match against Arn Anderson. And it feels really silly to me that with 10 minutes left, we're getting... Like Bischoff says the quiet part out loud, you normally have to pay-per-view for a cage match of this caliber. It's like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, these are their former best friends. Like, it's a big match, and they've been running it back. And I think it's pretty funny that we're going to get to it. Raw advertises a cage match next week while this match is playing. You know, that's the mentality. You know, when we were 8-9, that was the reality of what was going on, is you're getting a live, actual happening right now cage match, and then a show saying, well, next week we'll have one that we taped like a week ago. And like, you can see how in the beginning of the wars, the fact that they're alive is just so important to me. I feel like that it's going to end up, the one thing Bischoff has is he pushed them to have to be alive. Because you can't, and we'll get spoilers, sickos. They get dirty with it and take advantage of the fact that they're live and the other show's pre-taped and quote unquote real sport. So it's wild, but like seeing it over time, like it's really cool. You see the patterns of like it's happened a few times now where it's like so they do similar things, even down to like wrestlers having similar sequences. It's like,
yeah,
how much is that is just workers having similar move sets, and how much of that is the fact that this was pre-taped. They maybe know the guys, talk to about it, know what's going to happen, and then just do it to kind of go poo-poo on them. I don't know. But they put Arn and Flair in a cage with 8 minutes, basically. And I will say, they understood the assignment.
yeah, it was fucking brutal. I loved watching Ric Flair. Like, he's got such a style, and he's got such an attitude, and like
it's
even then,
only Flair too. Like only Flair does it like Flair.
Yeah, you know,
true.
And I love, and they talk so much shit about him. They're like, he wants to be alone. He can't buy a partner. Like all this stuff. One of the announcers gets really upset. He's like, he ignores me. He doesn't talk to me anymore. If you want to be alone, Rick, Nature Boy.
Do you want the? There's backstory to that hamster.
I know there is. Fill me in. Fill me in.
Bobby Heenan was Ric Flair's guy. Ric Flair is a Bobby Heenan guy. Bobby Heenan, that commentator, is the greatest wrestling manager to ever do it. The job we're watching him do now is what he did before retiring. This is the end of his career.
Yeah.
He did the commentary. So like the fact that he and Ric Flair weren't on the same page was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Because he would him and Ric Flair, he would die. That's his man. He would die for Ric Flair. They made so much money together. He's my guy. So it was a big deal and he was like trying really hard to push that. Well, he doesn't talk to me. And that's why he was trying to make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Because the people who've been watching for a decade are like, how is Bobby Heenan not in with Ric Flair? That doesn't make sense, you know? And like you want to. And that's why Bobby Heenan is so great, because a lot of people I feel like could have gotten to that point in their career where they're like, well, a lot of that happened in the other company, too.
Yeah.
It's so like, do I have to make that effort? A lot of people probably wouldn't, but Bobby fucking Heenan did. Bobby Heenan is like, no, we have a history. Bobby Heenan brings up stuff that happened in the AWA in Minneapolis in the territory days before Hogan was Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan became Hulk Hogan in Minneapolis before he got to WWE. And Bobby Heenan has hated him since then. Ever since then.
I knew he was son of a bitch back then. Now he's a son of a bitch now.
Yeah, right. And he does it. I wrote here, he didn't speak in truth the fucking power of Hulkamania. He's like, fuck that guy. I knew it back then.
The greatest character actors just have so much backstory, and they just talk it.
Yeah, and Heenan lives it. And that's what's great about wrestling is like he came from an era where you lived it. We're seeing the tail. We're walking into the tail end of when you lived it. That's what was wild about this era is everybody, the wider world started, like you said it when we started recording. It became more mainstream and more popular amongst everybody at this time. But the downside of that is like the real true end of kayfabe. Where like up until then, like everybody people knew it wasn't real, but you bought into it. You bought into the lie, and it was fun that you could trade. But what the thing is that it comes from the history of literal carnies. They're fucking grifters, but literally of like. They call it professional wrestling because amateur wrestlers needed a way to make money when they're done in collegiate sports and not going to the Olympics. So it literally was professional wrestling. So you get these guys who were actual fighters, but they needed to make money. And it's like, well, you can't make money as a traveling fighter if you get injured. But if you work out with the guy, hey, if you go over and the people betting on it, we split. And like, we draw people in. You insult my mom, I slap you. It makes people go, oh my God, we're gonna see a fight. That's how this happened.
Yeah.
It started as real wrestling, but they're like, we can make more money deciding who goes over, and we'll make it look good.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it kind of lends it. The sport itself lends itself to, like, kind of acting.
Oh, it absolutely is. And I feel bad the first couple of episodes that we recorded this. I feel like I repeated myself a lot because I did it all in a weekend. So I try not to do that again. But I like saying that it's the true heir to vaudeville.
With the tumbling and like you see
everything.
Absolutely.
And even more so because
Buster Keaton did his own stunts.
Oh yeah, and even more so because it's still for the people. Broadway, Hamilton. How many people didn't see Hamilton until it got to Disney Plus? And they spent 3 years not seeing it, being told it's the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of media. And then, but they couldn't see it because you have to have hundreds and hundreds of dollars and know a guy and all that. And then when you finally see it on Disney Plus, like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the most asinine, lit propaganda horse shit I have ever seen in my entire life. If I have any Hamilton fans listening, sorry. I'm sorry. You know where to find
isolating
me.
that demographic.
You know where to find me. We can talk about it. It's horse shit. It's racist. And so like, it's bullshit. We'll just put it this way. Aaron Burr stands. All right. Oh my God, that's funny. It's the same thing though, to finish my long-winded point. That's for rich people.
Yeah.
Wrestling still costs, you can go to AEW for like $30, like a ticket when they come through town, which is expensive, but like not hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Indie promotions, you can go see a show for $10, $15 in Minneapolis. And Minneapolis has an amazing indie promotion. First Wrestling is fantastic. I will always talk about that. I have some of my favorite wrestlers that I've seen who are on AEW shows now. I first came across them on YouTube matches that they had in town at First Wrestling.
That's so cool.
Freshly Squeezed Garrick Taylor, where I get my Dom the internet. Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. The first match I saw of him was him and Danhausen at First Wrestling. And I was like, oh my God, whatever this guy's doing, this is it. He was fantastic. And that's local. And that's why, to me, it's the heir to vaudeville. It's for the fucking people. It's where the poor people can still see theater. And it's absolutely theater and athletics. It's like Cirque du Soleil, but you cut your head with a razor blade. It's wild shit.
It's also like, it also very much taps into the ye olde, like the Coliseum days and like watching fights.
Absolutely.
It's such a cathartic, you scream, you get into it. It's such an emotional release. It feels great.
So fucking good for the soul to get in there. And what I love about it too, and there's a lot of sides and you can look at a lot of different ways. But like, it's not like the NFL where like they're going out, say what you will, it's a sport and games and shit. No, you're going out there trying to fucking hurt somebody. Like that's what, like that, you can't look at any other way. And so I see, like, I finally, I can't watch it anymore. I prefer my sports and my fights fake because I know that at the end of the day, they might be okay with actually hurting each other and in the fact of like causing pain. But they're not trying to injure each other. And that's the difference. Like, even if they can consensually say, hey, I'm going to like help myself jump up onto your shoulder so that you can throw me out of the ring through a table and it's going to hurt. But because I'm helping you do it, it's not going to injure me because I know how to take the fall. And like, that's different. then
It's also very communal, right? Like
absolutely.
we lift each other up, literally.
Yeah, like you can't, right?
Yeah.
We lift each other. It's oh, this is getting so deep, hamster. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, fantastic. That's absolutely it. We're here for queer weirdo perspective on wrestling. I'm telling you, this shit is gay and therapeutic, and men could go to therapy through wrestling. And a lot of these wrestlers should have gone to therapy. But absolutely, like you can't power slam someone if they don't want to be power slammed.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first things they tell you. And if you watch like MMA and like mixed martial arts, you can see that it doesn't look like, you know, some of it they use similar aspects, but like you could tell it's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like one of the big things is, especially in earlier wrestling, the era we're watching right now, there'll be rest holds where they have a guy in a submission hold and the guy's not giving up, right? And they'll be in it for like 5 minutes while they're both catching their breath. Whereas if you watch MMA, the moment someone sinks in a submission hold, the guy's tapping out like, "Don't break my arm, don't break my arm."
Yeah.
You know, and that's the difference. Is like, that's how you know they're not actually doing it, is because they're sitting there for 5 minutes. And it's like, well,
just in case.
hold
on. Wait, what's next? What's next?
Yeah, just thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. What are we doing next? So no, that's awesome, and that's Nitro. It took us a while to get.
That's Nitro.
And well, it tells us Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit in 1995, and I tell you, I'm excited for next week. That's what we have to look for. And then there's Raw, is what I'm going to say. I'm excited to see what you say about Raw. I wasn't happy with this Raw. They remind us that they remind us that they're presenting a sports entertainment with revolutionary force for over 50 years. And then they just go off, and I don't know. How did you feel? Well, why don't you start? Because I got nothing but mostly bad things to say about this Raw.
Okay, so this is Camp Cornette, which is Owen Hart.
Camp Cornette.
Yokozuna and the British Bulldog, and it's on Columbus Day, so strong start.
That makes up for the USA chants later. Yeah. When they're chanting USA for what's the guy? I feel like it was important enough to write down. They are chanting USA against a Canadian, a British man, and an American Samoan pretending to be Japanese. That's why they're chanting USA, is because the Camp Cornette bad guys are all not American, is why they're chanting USA.
Okay.
Because the pro wrestling fan is a simple creature.
Tiny brained. Very.
Especially.
Watch the keys.
Watch the keys and look at the flag. Look at the flag. Look at the flag. America. Jesus. Yeah. But yes,
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Oh, no, not him. He's in the other one, and I don't miss him. Don't put in the paper that I missed him.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Other show. Oh, my God. We don't talk about it.
Other show. Sorry.
Other show. My God, King. But yeah, no, they show up. I love that Yokozuna is just like making a random face that doesn't make any sense into the camera, because like at this
dude looks huge.
He's just later in his career, like he's not as mobile as he was. I think he's less of giving up a shit. He was the world champ for like a bit, like 2 years before this, but I feel like he's very much in the state of just not giving a shit, and I feel like he's not around for much longer. But it's also seeing him just try to have fun, and like you get shades of the bloodline, the Anoa'i family. I'm not sure how much you're familiar with modern wrestling.
Isn't that like
Roman
the
Reigns?
One that? I didn't. Oh, the Rock's not from it.
No, he is. The Rock is the Rock married, technically not by blood but by marriage. Roman Reigns and the bloodline, the modern thing, the bloodline they're talking about includes Yokozuna.
Oh wow,
that's Uncle Rodney.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Uncle Rodney. The Usos, they talk about coming in and saying, "Hey, Uncle Rodney's on TV," and he's like, "Uncle Rodney's not Japanese."
Small side note before I forget, British Bulldog is fucking caked up, and I was like, has this been 1995 the only period of time where a British man was caked up. I was like, damn.
And he
got that booty.
He do, and he managed to cut the super culturally insensitive cornrows off at this point, so it was okay to like the booty.
Oh no! Oh, good. Oh my God! I'm glad he got rid of the cornrows. Oh God! What a British dude.
Davey Boy Smith is list of monsters. I don't know. I mean, maybe top 20, 25. No, I don't know. It's hard to say because there's so many of them. He's not a great dude, but caked up, yes. And then we get representing the dark side, and Darth Calloway, the Undertaker, because like Vince warns us, the Undertaker may murder and bury someone in this 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I wrote down, I was never into wrestling much, but I was aware of The Undertaker, which appealed to me because I thought about death a lot. Because this is 95, I'm assuming he gets bigger with the Attitude Era, because I remember him.
Well,
I don't know, though.
Man, kinda. No, that's what's wild. But Undertaker is a whole thing onto himself. He was already in the company for 5 years at the point of when you're seeing him. I think he already held the title at one point. Like he was already kind of a bigger deal. I can't remember. Well, no, he might have not gotten the title till later. But like he was a part of the Attitude Era, but not as much. He was more a part of the era beforehand. But he stuck. But his whole thing is that he stuck around. He was like the Bowie. He kept changing. At one point, he stopped being a dead man and started being a biker for like 4 years. And
American Badass.
The American Badass, Big Evil. Yeah.
I remember Ministry of Darkness, kind of.
Ministry of Darkness era. Yes, that's my Undertaker. Like in the sense that was the one that I was watching live. Is Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, which is wild. And I stopped watching after about a year or two of American Badass. I was like, and like there was lots of reasons, but not having actual Undertaker didn't help. It did not fucking help. But yeah, I love we get into this match and they cut to Shawn Michaels talking about being like he's choking up, talking about being a hero to kids.
And they are beating that shit. Yeah.
They're beating the shit, but also just in that interview, like, it's one of those things where, like, it's so great to watch this in hindsight because he is fucking zooted. Like, we know this to be true because there's books about it. His book. Like, yeah, like, when he's talking, I choke up being a hero to kids, and he's just, and it's like, like, you watching him, like, dude, you are so fucking fucked up right now.
There was a lot of talking.
Yeah, and he's just kind of going. It's like, yeah, Sean, all right, so I'm like, cool. And then back to the match, over 300 pounds. I'm like, look, Vince, that's not impressive. So am I. Coming back from commercial break to a match already happening, and I kind of really like that. Like, you don't necessarily get that as much anymore. Like, sometimes a little. Again, AEW is kind of bringing that back, but for the opposite reason of what you saw before, where like Owen Hart does the jump off and they cut away, and it's like they were able to play with that, and they don't do that anymore because it's become more about live. And I like that it actually. It's one of those weird things with the fakeness of it. The plan they had to put into to make it seem more real, like now, like because it's more live and real, it makes it seem more fake. If that makes sense. Like, it's weird how that worked. Now it's like the opposite to me. Watching it now, it's something I feel like you don't get as much with. It feels more like a televised event, not a televised show, like a television show.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This
feels more like you're jumping back in on like these guys are fighting, and whereas now it's like it's very much more segmented and you still get some of that, and AEW does it better. But I love how it just falls apart into an all-out brawl within like 30 seconds. Everyone just, it's 1995, it's happening.
Because I made a comment. I didn't recognize it the way that you recognized it, but I did make a comment of immediately to the good stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I really loved the WWF, the Raw, because it was just immediately into the wrestling, and it was chaotic, and it was brutal and like super messy.
Yeah, and this is the first time on our journey. I feel like I've really seen something like that though on this watch along. They're starting to figure that out. It's so cool to watch it in real time because that absolutely becomes a staple. Like that, it's a thing that happens, and it giggles me because there's folks nowadays that complain about how the rules don't even matter in tag matches. Everyone just pours in. And it's like in 95, this is literally what's happening. And like literally some of the old dudes making that argument are in this match. Where it's
funny if we're in the crowd. I mean, you see it, it's so showy. You see the ref like looking everywhere outside of like the team member helping his team member to like tighten the grip, like this wild stuff.
Oh, when he's got Sean in the abdominal stretch, and he does the heel move of reaching back and getting like the extra torque from his take. Oh, I love that shit. No, this was a pretty solid match. The big Samoan drop from Yoko is like hell yes, where he picks him up on his shoulder and just falls backwards.
I was like, oh my god, just that man falling on me. I would just be like,
that's one of the ones that gets passed along the family. Uncle Ronnie puts. Speaking of that, he does a rock bottom. He does the Rock's finisher. In this match,
no way.
Yeah, he puts his arm over him and like picks him up and slams him like that, kind of like a choke slam, but not choking him. That's like it's called an Uranagi slam, but like that's a rock bottom. And I was like, holy shit, they really like all the Anoa'i guys just share moves. That's awesome.
That's cool.
And Undertaker did like a floating DDT. Where he, like on Yoko, where they like floated and like shifted in the air. I don't know if you caught that. Where he had his head under his shoulders and they just kind of like moved together. It was like a lot of people do a DDT, but that one's like fucking goddamn. Like those two together were friends in real life too. Undertaker and Yoko were really good buddies in real life. And like they were I think the best part of this match was when they were working together. Like holy shit, so cool.
The commentator, and when it just goes to total chaos, I noted because I'm this person. He goes, Columbus wouldn't have discovered America if he knew this was gonna happen. And I was like, I don't think that dude knows. I think it was like Vince McMahon. I was like, I don't think that dude knows a lot about Columbus, actually.
No, probably not. No.
I think Columbus would be like, oh, okay. Wait. He was like, wait. No one gets beheaded? Wait.
No, all he knows is fucking shoot steroid, eat hot chip, and lie. Yeah, that's all Vince got.
That's all he got.
But yeah, I love the franchise. Dean Douglas. Dean Douglas is this guy
out there taking
notes. Like, yeah,
he's keeping an eye on this. As the fucking ref is not clearly watching some flagrant bullshit go on.
I love it.
Narc ass.
He just keeps making it. This is like the third time it's happened, and he's just out there taking notes.
What do you do? But doesn't he? But the Dean goes after Shawn Michaels, doesn't he?
At the end, yeah. Like,
they're
building up. He goes hard. And, remember, I told you about ECW. Dean Douglas is Shane Douglas. He was one of the first ECW champions before he was here. So he came from ECW to this. So it's like they have him as this like teacher character, but Dean Douglas can throw the fuck down.
But he was like, he's a professor. Why? Because his name is, he's a dean.
Because he's a dean. Well, he was actually a teacher in real life, so that's why they got that.
Shut up.
So you find out that we're coming, especially into the era where everyone's just themselves, and so it was great though. This match was really pretty good. Owen Hart sells the surprise roll up, like, oh, it's so good. And I just wrote down, put that in your back pocket, Owen. That's going to come in handy against Steve Austin at a Survivor Series coming up, where he ends up, spoilers, injuring the fuck out of a guy. And though they have to finish it by doing one of those surprise roll-ups. So I wrote that down. I was like, all right, put that in your back pocket, Owen. You're going to need that
Owen
later.
Hart going after Shawn Michaels' spine makes me fucking cringe. I'm just like, please stop. Please.
Oh, God. They're just like all the places that are actually going to get hurt. Yeah. And what a finish, though. Undertaker saves his guy. Yeah. This is what I love is that we were talking about the ref trying to pretend to be oblivious.
Yeah.
Undertaker comes in to knock the guy off of the pin to save his guy, while the ref is admonishing him for doing so. Yoko very slowly saunters in and drops this huge leg drop. Like the ref wouldn't feel the impact of Yoko fucking Zuna sitting down. And like, I don't know what happened.
How does a 300-pound dude sneak up on you?
Just so fucking quietly, like 600-pound guy.
On canvas.
Drops it down and sneaks back off, and you turn around and Diesel is flat like a Looney Tunes.
He's just laying there.
Like holy shit, and I don't know what happened. I don't know, I guess cover him. That's so fucking wild. I don't know what happened. And then, also, what the fuck?
They mentioned 1995 AOL.
Yep, we're getting there. We're going to have the internet soon. It's going to help break this whole thing. I lost track of all the Mabel elbows, because then you get, like, Mabel comes down and everyone just, it's even more so.
Oh, God, yeah. King Mabel.
King Mabel beating an undead horse that is the Undertaker.
Yeah,
just elbow and elbow and elbow.
Yeah, him teaming up with the Bulldog.
That could be wild. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. So, yeah, now we've gotten enough video packages, the baby faces, like, stir awake. Like, they show a bunch of what happened before, and then the baby faces stir awake. And they talk about Mayor Glenn in the cage match on Raw versus the excellence of contractually obligated execution Bret Hart. That's ought to be cool. The guy who's the dentist is a mayor in Tennessee now.
His name, so just to be clear,
yes,
the character's name is Yankum.
Isaac Yankum, DDS. Yes. You know,
it's like surely.
You know, like a dentist.
Knowing in my heart of hearts that it had to be true. Yeah. Yet questioning.
And his theme music was, in fact, just a dentist drill. Going, that's it. All right.
19, yeah, man, those dentist suicide stats are not being helped here.
Yeah, but they're going off about the cage match, and that's good. Yeah. Vince threatens Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, with more jail time than he'll ever actually see for his crimes, which is unfortunate. Yeah. You see Vlad the Superfan, for those who know who he is. There's this kind of guy in glasses, kind of scrawny, muscular dude in a tank top who's like really into it in the crowd. He's known as Vlad the Superfan. He is literally at every fucking show and has been for like decades.
I did not spot. Okay.
If you end up continuing to watch wrestling because I have fully infected you in these 2 hours.
Because I now have the brainworm.
Because now you know how I have the brainworm. Keep an eye out for Vlad. Vlad's been around forever.
I will, yeah.
He's the Superfan. He shows up in wild places. He's everywhere. They finally made a documentary about him. Because he had a hard time over COVID, because over COVID there was no wrestling. There was wrestling, but there was no crowds. Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean I can't go to Madison Square Garden and see the show? What the fuck? It's like, this is a guy who is at every show his whole like life, and like he had a hard time with it. It's like, you can't go to the show. And he's like lonely. Yeah, like how would you? He's just lonely. He's like, I can't go see my people. Like, he's at every show, and like the people ask him, and like he's like, he can't say it, but it's like he at this point he has a hookup. But like, he's been there forever. He's been part of storylines, sort of like.
That's so cool.
Well, they came up. I think it was it? I forget who it was. Came up to him in the crowd at a very old show. It was like Roddy Piper. Someone was like, "Who do you want to beat Roddy Piper?" And he's like, "Hulk Hogan." And they went up to him because they know it's Vlad. They're like, Vlad's going to say Hulk. Yeah, so like we're going to get the response we want if we go to Vlad. He's going to say Hulk.
Good for him.
Right. Jerry goes off about someone insulting his mother, and I was like, "No, I'm."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
so he was talking about why he got involved with Bret Hart.
Yeah, he insulted
in the
my mother.
SummerSlam match. I was just like, shut the like, and it's very. Oh my god! First of all, I love Jerry Lawler. Like the fact that his body is just normal shaped. Like zero problem taking his shirt off or his jacket off.
I have a problem with it, but go on.
zero problem talking smack.
But I was like, no, I'm not scolding her. I am not or insulting her. I'm scolding her for whatever the hell you are, Jerry. So like,
yeah.
But yeah, so this at this point though, we're watching the SummerSlam match, right? And I put it together just now that I'm like, wait a minute. They're just the second match of Raw. They're literally just showing us the SummerSlam match, this romp 'em stomp 'em affair. Oh, it's like they didn't have anything, and they're just doing new commentary over it. They're talking over it again.
Filler, yeah, and they're leading it up to the next pay-per-view, which is
in your house,
like, yeah,
Shark
and also
Tank.
Jerry's gonna be put in a cage above a cage.
Shark Tank for a shark, yeah.
Can't put a king in a cage.
Sure, but you can put a predator in a cage, and you count
God, you should
Waller.
have just left him there.
Yeah, please. Yeah, so I
go back in time.
No, I literally wrote down Shark Tank the King and leave him there. So
yeah,
but
nothing of value was lost.
That being said, Bret Hart is getting a decent match out of the dentist.
Yeah,
and it's a testament to him, I have to say, because like. Fuck, Glenn gets better when he becomes Kane, but in the meantime, fuck, he's not that great. But Brett is just so good. It's wild. It just blows my mind. That's why I get to the point where I'm like, this Raw sucks, because they're literally just giving us a SummerSlam. Which cool, they're giving us a SummerSlam match, but it's just them talking over it, and it's like, okay, and that's also where it's like it becomes very clear that you're not watching a live show.
Yeah.
Because what's going on to the crowd while these two chuckle fucks are talking over?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like as an adult, I'm putting this together. Oh, as a kid, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make sense, but then we get an actual match. We get Tammy and Chris, the Body Donnas, Sonny and Skip. Actually, Tammy and Chris is their real names. Speaking of bloodline, that continues. Fatu making a difference. The guy he's fighting is another bloodline. That's Jimmy and Jay Uso's dad. That's Rikishi.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I love Fatu. I thought I was like the breakdancing moves before laying Skip out is just so fucking good.
And it's awesome because Rikishi ended up, the big thing that he got over with later in the Attitude Era was dancing. And it's like I'm like watching it. I'm like, no, he's always been doing this.
Yeah, it's
It's fantastic. He's just always been dancing. He just found a new way to do it.
Yeah, actually,
basically the music and outfit got better in a couple years, and that's about it. Or was it the same shit?
A glow up,
yeah,
fresh color coat of paint. Also, I was like, does Skip definitely needs a cup? I was like, also as the match goes on and his little slinglet comes off, and I was like, baby, what are you doing?
No, I saw it was like Skip's second strap comes down.
Yeah,
we must be about 2/3 through the match. It's like he's keeping time, you know. He's like, it's a countdown.
Sonny using her feminine wiles, dressed very much like Barbie, actually. Like,
that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I wrote down.
It's very Euro.
I wrote down, oh, Sonny, size and gay, because I'm a simple bitch. And I know what I'm about. And like when I was a kid, it was all about Sonny. But
Sonny's great.
Sonny was awesome. I love Sonny. Everyone hates her, but I was like, fuck yeah, Sonny.
She didn't know what her job was.
Quick aside to any fellow lapsed fans, and they recently, at the time of this recording, read an email of mine on their latest mailbag show, but I have to shout it out. Anyone who listens to him knows that there's a list of words that Vince McMahon says. He has a list of words that he just says, and it doesn't. None of them make sense. But he dropped one of them here while reading out lists of upcoming house shows. He just says, notwithstanding Utica, New York, and notwithstanding is one of those words that like.
Oh, that's not actually a word.
Well, it is, but it's like a phrase that he uses, and it doesn't necessarily make sense when he uses it. So I just felt like if y'all are listening, probably not. If anyone who listens to both these shows knows what I'm talking about, he actually fucking did it, guys, folks. They're not making it up. He actually, in the middle of talking about upcoming shows, used one of these phrases in a way that did not make sense, and I had to take note of it because what the fuck. So Rikishi popping locks on a comeback.
Back to the match.
Back to the match. Yeah, Vince is confused about what Sonny is saying because he doesn't listen to women. And he's saying Sonny's going to have a hissy, and that pisses me off. Something about Monsoon getting Gorilla Monsoon getting an Oval Office, which I was actually like, that's fine, he gets it. So okay, here's something that happened though that's like, what the fuck? I'm not sure if this counts as a segment of There Were Signs because it's not Vince McMahon specific. We occasionally do a thing. Vince will drop something where it's like, oh fuck, we should have known that this was going to happen. This is just general wrestling racism, hamster. So Samoans can't be headbutt. You can't headbutt a Samoan and have it do damage because that's a whole.
It's like a racial trait from AT&T.
No, it's literally like a racial trait from whatever edition of D&D the wokes got mad about, me being one of them, because it's wrong. You can't headbutt a Samoan. So it's common wrestling racism.
Oh, so that explains it.
Yeah, they have superior heads on account of race science. And I wish I were kidding, but it's literally a thing that they do. Every Samoan has a thing where they have super hard headbutts. And if you try to headbutt a Samoan, the other guy sells it. Everyone knows it. It's like an ongoing thing. So Skip tries to do the flying headbutt on Fatu, and he fucking no-sells it, and Chris Candido acts like he hurt himself. And I know it comes from an awful place, but fucking hamster, I popped so hard. I was like, are you fucking kidding me that every Samoan wrestler gets to have that superpower? Like, they just, if you're a Samoan wrestler, you get to not get headbutt. And that's fucking awesome. Like you said, it's like a perk. It's like a Fallout perk or a race attribute in TNT.
Tiefling is like resistant to fire.
There you
know?
go.
Yeah.
Samoans are resistant to headbutt.
Yeah, you know,
let them have it. Yeah, it's terrible racism and race science, but it's pretty fucking awesome, and it worked to Fatu's advantage here. Tell you what, like it won the match, and I laughed so fucking hard because I've seen the joke done over and over of, you know, the no-sell. I've never seen it on a flying headbutt, and it was
it just stands there.
Oh my god, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
Then they go back to they throw it back to Doc Hendricks pretending he can't hear him, pacing back and forth, thinking about the things he's seen, the things he's done, the choices he's made. Then they're going back to the rewatch shit. They do a SummerSlam of something that happened 20 minutes ago, and I hate it. Again, like all my notes are shit. I did not enjoy this Raw. Bruce Pritchard slapped Hendricks around a little, splashed some water on his face and his hair and his chest, snapped him out of it, so he's able to tell us that the baby faces are hurt.
The baby faces.
The good guys are hurt. Sean's hurt, but he busts into Camp Corny's camp to cut a promo, and Bulldog like shadow boxes in a baseball cap while Jim
Give it to
Cornette,
him.
and he's just doing it and doing his thing. And Corny says it's the toughest fight he's ever been in his life, and I agree because it was fake. Corny doesn't get in fights. Corny gets his ass kicked. It's a different thing entirely. But
a fight requires two participants.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Sure, bud. Sure. At least he put his glasses back on. He feels. I feel like he's naked when he doesn't have his glasses on. But Bulldog's like nodding his head rhythmically, waiting to talk, and my brain was just going, bro.
You know, that's what the little bulldog on a trike in his brain,
he's just
circling.
Bro. Yeah, I blame Will Ospreay for saying bruv all the fucking time. He's talking about the 50 below hellhole, and I was like, that's my nickname in my 20s, Davey. That's fine. And then I realized that poor Jim Ross is the guy who's holding the microphone for all this horse shit. And he's a fucking legend in the game. And he just looks visibly disgusted. And like, I don't know if it's in the script for him to be visibly disgusted or it's just him going, God, fuck. All right, yeah, let's go. Sure, woo, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't feel like Bulldog had a really great just had the riz for the promo. I think maybe it was really tainted by the hat given to him by Princess Di, which I feel was just very weird thing to say. I was like,
that's so fucking good. That's such a Cornette line too. That's such a Jim Cornette line.
It was a Cornette line.
Yeah, that's such a Jim Cornette line. Give it to him by Princess Di. Like big deal. And then here comes King Mabel. See royalty. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then they give us more replays from half an hour ago. Shark Cage for a Shark, which I think is funny because Jerry Lawler is a predator, as two on the nose. Okay. And that's the end of, we got through Raw. That was Raw. Yay, Hector, yay.
Clap emoji.
Clap emoji. What the fuck? So, I don't know. Do you have other notes on Raw? Other things that notes, questions, concerns?
No, but I did, going back to the steel cage match, I did think that Ric Flair was done dirty.
Back in Nitro? Yeah. Well, here we go. That's why I cut you off before, because if we're done with Raw, that brings us to Match of the Week. What was your Match of the Week? Was it Arn and Rick?
No, actually, I think it was Sabu and Mr. JL.
Mr. JL, Mr. J Lynn. All right.
J to the L. It was. I think the artist. I really loved the chaotic barbarity of Raw.
Yeah.
The opening fight, because just everybody was going fucking nuts, and I saw a lot of people that
and they had set it up the week beforehand. It was a thing where these guys butt heads and they went right to it. So I agree.
Yeah,
I will agree that
great
was
energy.
And that was a good opener. I'll give Raw the opener. It was a good opener. Hamster, you've turned my mind around. I'm
happy. I'm happy I could convert.
Yeah,
not intended, but happy to do so.
But what are you calling your favorite then? Is it Sabu or that one?
So I think my favorite was Sabu and Mr. JL.
And Mr. JL. Yeah, that shit was pretty great.
It was. I felt like it was very tight and brutal. With Raw, to me, I was like, oh, I can see people telegraphing. You
can see the little bit of the choreography of it.
Right.
It's a little, whereas those two were fucking fighting each other.
Exactly. It was hit after hit. They just moved super well together.
Yeah.
And even though JL looked like a clown.
Yeah, but he doesn't wrestle like a clown.
No, certainly didn't.
No.
And it held my attention well. So I think that's my.
And the clowns wrestle in the other company. Doink the Clown was in WWE. And then eventually the Indies. Actual wrestling evil clown. No, that shit existed. Wild guy in real life too. He kept that gimmick going in the Indies as later in life, and also kept doing all the drugs. And if you look up later Doink the Clown matches in Indies on YouTube, he just straight up looks like fucking Pennywise,
oh my god,
evil fucking clown shit. It's fucking scary. Him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I showed someone a match. There's a match on YouTube of him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, both old dudes, where from this era, who worked in the company a little bit, a couple years before this era that we're watching now, fighting they're not supposed. It's a work or a shoot. Is it real or not? And at one point, Matt Bourne, Doink the Clown, hits knees him real hard in the face, real hard. And Jim Duggan's like, "Are we working? Or are we going? Like, you want to work with me right now, or are we going?"
Yeah.
And it's like on YouTube, you see these two old dudes. You've seen some shit. They both look like Vietnam vets who like came back and like saw shit. And they're in the ring going, "We working or we going?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, guys." And like, yeah, Doink the Clown's nuts.
It vaguely reminds me. I'm not gonna. The fight.
Yeah.
In They Live.
Yeah. No.
John Carpenter's They Live. Where like, it was an 8-minute ass kicking.
Yo,
like,
those are my favorite kinds of matches. And I mean, that's Roddy Piper. That's a professional wrestler.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, that's
glorious.
And that's why no one else but Roddy Piper and fucking Keith David could have done that movie. It would have been as good.
100%.
Like they absolutely got it. And that Roddy was just like, "I'm gonna show you how to fuck. Like, we're gonna kick each other's ass." Like, because how do you make that look real? You fucking hit it.
Well, I looked it up. The only hits that they pulled were to the face and groin.
Yeah,
everything else landed.
Yep, there you go. And that's what's
Just
awesome
amazing.
is a lot of what you find out when you learn more about how professional wrestling works is that, like, Rick, the perfect example, you're talking about Rick and Arn, the chest chops that he's famous for, where he slaps the chest super hard. And woo, and it's like he's famous for those, and chest chops are a big thing. And it's like, well, how do you fake that? And it's like, you don't. But if you know someone who's into, let's say, impact play and in a kink dynamic, it's the same mentality. You know where it's safe to hit really hard.
Yeah.
So if you pay attention to what part of their chests are getting red from the slaps, you realize they're hitting them where it's going to hurt, sure, but it's not going to injure them. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
And like, when you know where you can do those hits, you know where you can land in and not have it kill the guy. Or you can just talk to him and be like, "You cool if we beat the shit out of each other?"
Cool.
The Vader McFoley method, just like, "I'm going to beat the shit out of you. You should probably beat the shit out of me." Yeah. Like, and that's how they do it. Awesome. So your match of the week is Sabu. I picked Sting and Tenta, to be honest, because I just really loved it. And I have a lot of respect for Tenta and Sting. And it's one of those things where, like, as I was watching, I was like, this is Earthquake. Like, this is a guy who, he looks like a shark, but, like, let's watch this match knowing that John Tenta's the real deal. And him and Sting put on a great showing of the medium. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything wild and spectacular, but it was a really good look at the art form of they really put on a wrestling match of two guys who really know what the fuck they're doing. And I picked Sting and Tenta. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great match. And I love that ending where he just flew across the whole ring and still managed to hit him. Yeah, full disclosure.
Full disclosure, I got thrown by the shark costume, so now we will end this call, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to watch it, because now I want to see it, because, like...
Knowing that he can actually go.
Yeah.
He was a football player who went to learn sumo in Japan, and, like...
That's amazing.
He's an actual real good dude. I don't know if you actually watch Dark Side of the Ring at all, but if you do, this new season, like I said, did one on him, and it's a fascinating story. And he's one of those guys we talk about, like, industry full of monsters. Not John Tenta.
Mm-hmm.
John Tenta was just a good dude. And they exist. There's plenty.
Yeah.
Like, there
and
are.
You gotta stand them.
Yeah, and you gotta stand them when you find them, because, like, there's a lot of shitty guys in this industry. Yeah. So when you find someone who's a good dude in wrestling, like, that's why I want to be like, "Oh, this is a good dude." And if I ever find out they're not a good dude, I'm gonna be very mad. So that moves on to sign of the week. Did you have a favorite sign? There wasn't many this week.
I didn't see any.
You didn't even see any? All right. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I saw one.
Oh, good.
I saw one of the best wrestling signs I've ever seen. A for effort and execution. So it was coming back, I think, from a commercial break in Nitro. And it said, WCW #1 fan. And then as soon as they saw that there was a camera on them, they, like, moved and let it fall down, and it opened up, and there was a TBS logo that said Terry Bollea sucks for TBS. And I was fucking dying. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Is that actually?" And I paused and went back, and it was like sleight of hand. Oh shit, camera! Like this guy was ready to shit on Hogan so hard that he cloak and daggered it. Like,
It's so good.
That's my sign of the week. Like, that was good shit.
Well, when I go back and watch the Sting and Shark, I'll look for the sign.
Yeah, it's on there somewhere. I think WCW had overall better show this week. I don't know about you, but that's why.
Yeah, I wasn't super keen on like the talking over the
old
like
shit.
The SummerSlam, like that was like
it really killed it for me because like there was already commentary on that when they did it the first time. And it's like, why don't you just, if you're going to do it, just show us the match.
Yeah, just show it. Yeah, why are you talking more? Like,
so yeah. All right, I'm happy we agree on that. Fucking
same.
A.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you for hanging out and talking about old wrestling with me, Hamster. This was fucking fun. We actually went quite a while. There was a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thank you so much for inviting me. I was a little bit nervous. I'm glad that I just front loaded everything where I was like, I know nothing.
No, that's why.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's why
I love dissecting media, and
there
I think that
I
think that you can find the human psyche and human spirit and literally everything.
Oh my God, wrestling's dripping in psyche for sure. Yeah. And like, there's so much going on in wrestling. That's why I love it so much, and I could watch it forever. Which is like, I was gonna do this anyways. Fuck it.
I love the vaudeville analogy because
I mean, I'm not the first person to put that together, but similar.
Yeah.
Josie Reisman, I talk about a lot. Like, her book is fucking amazing. Ringmaster, check it out. Talks about.
Oh right, I've seen that on Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, Josie's on Blue Sky, super hard.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, she goes into a lot of the history, and like, it really is. It's just it's fascinating. As much as I shit on Jim Cornette too, as I should. There's reasons too.
Absolutely.
He's the greatest living wrestling historian probably right now. Okay. He knows everything going back to when it was real fighting, and like that. Yeah. I gotta respect that shit. So like that's why like I just love this shit, and that's why I want to talk about it. It's so fucking interesting. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I will say thank you for the sickos listening. You are sickos for being here, and I love you. Thank you, sickos.
Thank you.
This is good time, sickos. You can find us on Blue Sky being sickos at mnffpod.bsky.social, and there's a sicko Instagram at mnffpod. And if you want to join the watch-alongs of pay-per-views, both from the Attitude Era and I guess also of the current era, because we're watching Dynasty. I think that came out already once this comes out, but there'll probably be more. You can join the Patreon at patreon.com/mnffpod. Otherwise, we will see you next week for more Raw versus Nitro on Monday Night Fake Fights. Toodles, bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Brody. I'm going to the Alice of Crocomoco, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I go through and make the tracks that I've been posting recently on my YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, as they say, and let's get started. So, first thing you're going to do, I did, and you can do too, is you get these field recording tracks. Then I usually get a handful of different tracks I've already pre-recorded and made in my voice memos or in Ableton or whatever I do, and I throw them all in here. So this is from this album from 1 to 8, or the track 1 to 8 is my album We Are Human, We Are Real, and then from 11 to 19, from 11 to 20, sorry, this is my album Lost, which is currently not even posted. It will be posted down below, though. It's a special little download link that you guys can do to support the Dream and everything, and also be a part of the Dream. So, anyway, here we go. So, what I'm going to do, little background. I started doing this. This is IDM. I consider IDM. They call it intelligent dance music. There's not really... For me, this is just me. There's nothing intelligent about me turning the knobs and just seeing what works. That's not intelligence to me, that's creativity. So I feel like it should be called CDM. But I don't know if that really stands for anything that's good or bad. So anyway, so what we're going to do is you're going to put these tracks, these little, I already did it, these tracks here, these ones I'm clicking on right now, throw them into 3 and 4. So the idea is that you play with a CDJ setup with the mixer in the middle, obviously, and then you have all the CDJs lined up on either side. And one side is the field recordings, and the other side is the tongue drums. So you have a little bit more of an organization through the mixer. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and throw whatever tongue drum track. If you were me, I would throw my first one here. But since we're going to be thinking about other things and funny things, we're going to think that birds are not real. And so we're going to throw that here. Here's the fun thing. And here's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. Is regardless of how it sounds, the lovely thing with tongue drums is they're usually in some sort of relative key to each other. You can usually get a tongue drum that's in a relative key to another pretty easily. And depending on the scale, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So I'll do that, and then I'll do green, because I think that's funny. It's not funny, but it is, to me, in my own opinion. So then, here's the fun part. You can change this however you like. See, look, it goes up to here, that, you can be matching, coming down, and then you can do all sorts of shit. So you can start it like, this is the BPM that I'm doing right here. I'm just messing with the BPM, but you can also see I'm also messing with the key. The best part about this is that you can do the master tempo. That's kind of boring though. Like, who wants a tongue drum to sound the same sound the whole time? When you turn off the master tempo, you can do this. See how funny that is? And also really cool. So that's not even the first step. We're just or that's technically the first step, but we're not even really indulged in making the music. First thing I like to do is personally go to my beat loop section on either of these, which is pretty fun. And I just click. That is way too fucking loud. I am so sorry. We're gonna I forgot to do that. So second technical step is going down and turning this down to like -30, like turning that shit down. I can't do it on my mixer. And then just, it sounds just nice and light. It's just like not really in your face. It's really nice. Same goes here. You don't want it really that loud. You want it to sound almost like it's back. If you're looking, if you're facing the stage as a listener, you want it. I want it to sound like it's back here. So if we have the PA system, you want to turn it down, and you really don't want to mess with it. And since it's going to be jungle stuff, people are going to already think, okay, so I'm already going to be in a setting where it's going to be jungle recordings. So what's better to put in than this lovely, beautiful, amazing, awesome tongue drum sounds. So I'll usually start it out like this, where usually the stuff is really slow. Then you can see I can sync up the keys. So this is a 1A. I start playing this one, and I can completely change it however I like, if it would let me. And I can match this key if I wanted to. And now with my little mixer that I got for my birthday, see this? From the bottom left, you can't see me. You can use everything on here to essentially make the song yours. So these can be pre-recorded tracks, but you can really change them into whatever you want. Just go into it. So you kind of just mess with it. You kind of mess with the tempos, you do everything you want. mess with that. So that's the cool thing about this, is that you don't really have to, like, not saying that you have to try too hard, but you have a lot of creative power over your own music. And it sounds really good. And it's really fun. And it's enjoyable to listen to. And that is my tidbit for today. Excuse me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you later.
The sons, the sisters, what they look like, what they ate, their furnishings, their thoughts, their interests, their very soul.
All anyone in this town has to do is add sea monkey eggs to prepared water and bang, they see them alive.
One, two, three. Snoozinator.
Oh, yuck!
I believe in America.
Hello, me old chum. I'm not a elf. I'm not a goblin. I'm a gnome, and you've been gnomed.